Welcome back, people. Push day. It's Monday, mainly chest dominant, a little bit of delts as well. We're actually starting with delts on this day, just for the lateral raises, and then the rest is chest, and we've got triceps at the end. So a good session to come. I'm going to do a physique update for the first time in a while at the end of this session as well. Let me get a little bit of a pump first, and then we'll do a physique update, just update you all on where I'm at personally in terms of my own journey, how the last sort of 4 or 5 weeks have gone since I've been back into 100% consistency, and just take you through the session as always. So lateral raise done. We've got incline Smith press now. Nice heavy loading set initially, and a back off set. Good. So we've got 2 plates per side today. That was a plate, a 10 and a 5, last warm up. So feeling ready to go. Who else has to line up the plate so that the holes line up? OCD, man. Makes it lighter. Such a nice spot. And such a nice spot then. That's what you need in a spotter. When you get into that point where you are reaching failure, some people just rip the weight off you. But all you need is just a little touch, a little tickle. Take a few kilos off. Just allow that person to slowly go through that last rep. Just keep them moving. Nice, that felt good. PB on there, back off now. Back to using an old school logbook. Tracking on the phone was not working for me. Did it for 3 or 4 weeks. Too distracting, mate. Phones, do not disturb. Pen and pad is back. I'm liking it. And there's something about just before each session, just having to physically write down your session. Or just getting yourself in the right headspace for training before you even walk in. Just locking into what exercise you've got to do that day, what numbers you've got to hit, looking back on the previous week, making sure that sort of you're set up and ready to go for the session mentally. That's my physique update done. One off the stack on this machine now. Strength progression's been brilliant. It's amazing how consistent strength progression can be when everything else is so consistent. Like when nutrition's on point, sleep's on point, recovery's on point, just training intensity is always up where it needs to be. Strength's just been climbing and climbing and climbing. I think it's an all-time PB on this now, which is awesome. So nearly there on the stack, being patient. I got a feeling I'll be on this weight for a while, but yeah, happy with how strength's going. Seven plus 1, I think. Lightweight, baby. Right, so that's chest press done. We've got pec deck, and then triceps to finish, tricep extension, skull crusher variation, and then it's time for me to get naked. No skipping forward to that bit. I was able to exhaust every part of the range here. Having this as the last movement, obviously we're coming through full range initially, but we'll fatigue in that middle position very quickly down to the placement of where this movement is in the session itself. But it allows us to really safely and efficiently continue to load mid-range, length and range until we've just tapped out at every single inch of that range itself. It's a nice movement to actually finish on in terms of this elbow pec fly. So if you haven't given that a go in your training, give it a go. Because a lot of people would put it at the beginning, there's rationale to that too. Yeah, it's a nice finisher for chest. Last exercise, skull crusher variation. I was doing these with dumbbells, but in terms of joint alignment, they weren't working well. I could feel that they were going to start to cause some level of irritation in terms of the elbow there. So I've switched that onto the cable. Just putting the cables high. We got these free motion cables, which you can move anywhere, but you can do this on like a narrow cable stack. And then just take a crossed over grip with the cables themselves. Take a step forward, just hinge forward and find a nice stable position. Bring that elbow about shoulder height, just above. And then we can lock in and drive slightly out and then slightly back in. And that cable is directly opposing the direction that that elbow wants to hinge in, meaning that the force going through that joint is more aligned and we're able to load it safer without feeling niggles over time. So if you find that barbell or dumbbell skull crushers hurt your elbows, which they most likely will, then switch it to a cable movement and you will find that it's a lot more comfortable. You guys get better engagement as well in terms of the tricep. If you find stability an issue, you can just set a bench in front, set the cables down a little bit, be sat here with that back support and then go through in that position, which just gives you a lot more stability there. But usually you're loading triceps light enough to be able just to stabilize yourself. If you want that little bit of extra, set it up on a bench. Session done. Splendid. This doesn't need to be shown, Eddie. Just testing them. I'm just warming up. I got them later in the week and I just need to just test them out, see if they're going to be all right. Welcome back to my OnlyFans. I usually charge for this content, but free for my loyal subscribers. Do a physique update. A little bit of an update on where I'm at. Body weight is sitting at 74.5 kilos, still a featherweight. It's actually held in terms of sort of position for the last 4 or so weeks. Body weight hasn't changed a lot, but the look to my physique has completely changed, down to coming from a position whereby I was a little bit detrained across sort of Christmas leading into the new year, and have definitely leaned up whilst improving in terms of overall fullness, simply just by having that consistency back in terms of nutrition and training. So let's have a look now, and then we'll wrap up the video after that. Not feeling too bad. Definitely leaner, definitely feeling fuller, especially across my top line, through the chest, shoulders. Bit more sort of fullness to the arms again. Obviously nothing special at this stage, but ultimately this is all building the foundations for the long gaining phases to come throughout this year. And ultimately, the better the start position now, the more successful that's going to be. As I said, building foundations, gaining that consistency back that I needed through all variables. And we can now start to, over the next few weeks, think about transitioning food up, transitioning into consistently seeing a gain in terms of body weight on a month-to-month basis. But for now, I'm happy. Let me know what you guys think below. I'm just excited to see how much I can grow for the rest of this year. That's video wrapped up, guys. As always, I hope that was enjoyable. Let me know below in terms of what you think about current physique, any areas that you feel I need to build, work on, all that good stuff. Constructive criticism, though, please. Don't be a dickhead. As always, do that YouTuber stuff. Like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. You do know that you need to edit those physique shots as well to actually make me look like I got some muscle.